How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. As you can tell by the title, today we are reviewing and I'm giving my opinions on Tiger King. Just going to run through some of the characters and what my opinions and thoughts and feelings are, and some overall opinions at the end. If there's anything you feel like I've missed out, I'm more than happy to do a part 2 for this. If you would like me to, if I've missed out any characters, any opinions, anything from the programme which you guys are like, well, what do you think on that? More than happy to run through and do a part 2 on this. So let's just get straight into it. I just want to quickly say as well, these are my opinions, my thoughts and feelings on the programme, and they're not necessarily facts, they're just my opinions. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. So the first character in Tiger King that we're going to talk about has to be the main man himself, Joe Exotic. He's got lots of names, Maldonado Passage or whatever other names he's got as well. But the first thing I just want to point out for Joe is I kind of felt a bit sorry for him in the end. I do feel like he was manipulated and framed in certain things. Don't get me wrong, he did lots of things that I think were wrong. I don't agree in him shooting animals, killing animals, keeping animals. I don't agree with any of them in this, keeping animals in such a close enclosure, unless it's like a program, a breeding program or conservation program. Keeping them as pets, I don't necessarily agree with. So he did things that were wrong in my opinion, but I definitely feel like he was made to seem worse than I think he was at times. He wasn't very nice to lots of people as well. Don't get me wrong. He said some not very nice things, which I again don't agree with. But it is what it is. I do, as I said, feel like he was framed quite a bit at the end though, and it's a shame. The next point was he is such a crazy person. He's such a crazy personality. Makes great telly, which is why it was such a good series. I think for him it was just the fact that he loved fame. I think he loved people liking him. I think he liked to be liked. I think he was he thrived off the attention and the fame that came with having the park and running for president, running for mayor, having the sort of arguments with Carol and things like that. Really, they're probably more than arguments, really, but you know what I mean. I think I'd say he's just desperate for people to like him. I think he just wants to be liked and people to talk about him. I think he likes that sort of the fame. I think his ego really thrived off that as well, and I think that was probably the start of his downfall, was when he started becoming quite a bit more well known. Really, I think it really affected him in terms of what he was able to do. I think he wanted to go to the next level all the time, which is great, but I think he just took it too far, got involved with some bad things, and I think that was very much the start of his sort of downward spiral within the park. The little thing as well, if you watch the last episode, you'll know this. He's actually scared of tigers and lions. He's actually scared of the animals, which is mad. Because if you watch the programme, you'll know he's in the enclosures quite a lot. He's living with them, he's working with them every day, and you're actually scared of them. It's mad. Which I thought was kind of crazy. But, for wanting anyone dead, it's not a good thing at the end of the day. And for wanting Carol dead isn't good. You can't go around wanting people dead. You can't go around threatening to kill people. That's not okay. In any country, in any world, that's not okay. But as I said, ultimately, I think fame got to his head, and I think he thought that having that would getting him out of the way would help with his park, but you can't really do that. That's not really how the world works. The second character we're going to talk about is, of course, as I mentioned already, Carol Baskin. So the next character we're going to talk about, of course, I've mentioned already, is Carol Baskin. The memes that have come from this from Carol Baskin are brilliant. There's the TikTok song. That's really funny. But I just want to start by saying, for me, Carol is just as bad as everyone else. She also keeps big cats, and she sort of argues against everyone else keeping big cats, and maybe that they shouldn't, but she does too. And actually, in my opinion, I think as well, like, her enclosure and like the park that she had wasn't half as well built and well run. Well, not maybe well run, but well built Like the enclosures that Joe had for his animals, in my opinion, seemed a lot better and bigger, a lot more sturdy, a lot more secure. Better for the animals, in my opinion. As I don't agree in it anyway, but I actually thought that some other characters kept the animals better than Carol did. So I'm not really sure why she sort of was so against people keeping animals when she did it herself. I guess it was because she was saying that she was rescuing them and looking after them, but I thought it was just kind of an excuse of being able to do what they're doing. In my opinion, she killed her husband. I'm just going to say it. She killed her husband, in my opinion. She definitely knows what happened to her husband if she didn't kill him. She definitely knows where he's gone and what's happened to him. She knows more than she's leading out, definitely. She changed his will to saying disappearing, which just never happens. That's really weird. That's really strange. And her new husband as well is really weird. He's on a lead at their wedding. Like, what's that about? That's really weird. Dressed up as a cat. Yeah, strange. Anyway, but I think she definitely killed her husband because, she wanted out of the relationship. He was cheating on her a lot, but she knew if she split up with him, she wouldn't get any money, and that she knew the only way of getting money and being able to keep what she'd earned in her time with him was if he had disappeared, and she was in the will to get all the money. And the family didn't really get much from it. She got most of it. I think they got like 10% of what he was worth, which is a lot. But 10% obviously isn't that much. Obviously, Carol kept like 90% of it. I think she used that money she had in the end, that she'd earned or she'd built on obviously her ex-husband's money, just to throw up problems. Like whenever Joe came and attacked, she'd throw money at it. Whenever she was under sort of scrutiny for her park and things like that, she'd throw money at it. I think she just constantly threw money at things and problems to make them go away, and I think that's quite a clever way. I think of getting away with things is using your wealth and your power to sort of not become in trouble or to have any problems, and almost to be invincible, if you like. The next character we're going to talk about is then Doc Antle, who doesn't have the biggest part to play in it. He's only in it a little bit, but he does sort of say things which give insight and information, if you like. So, again, just for me, he's just as bad as everyone else. Obviously keeping animals as well. Definitely got more dodgy things going on. I think he probably makes out. Obviously, there's that thing at the end of obviously he got raided because obviously there were thoughts that maybe he was killing animals and tricking animals not in a very nice way, and there was more sort of going on than was let out to believe. So he was raided right near the end, which was a bit interesting. For me, he's quite sly as well. He seems to steer things. He's not really on anyone's side. He sort of just gives nuggets of information here and there to sort of help each other's sides and stuff. So he's sort of just in the middle, and he's just quite clever in how he sort of gives information to certain people. And I think he knows a lot more than probably what he's saying at times as well. But yeah, definitely quite a clever character. I got notes, by the way. So on to the next page of notes. Ooh, there we go. So the next character we're going to talk about then is quite a main character. It sort of comes towards the end, is Jeff Lowe. So when Jeff comes onto the scene, you think, wow, this is someone who's going to try and save the park, help Joe, the big saviour of the series. What the show needs, what the park needs, what Joe needs. Perfect, right? You very quickly learn that Jeff is not there to be the saviour and be the perfect character that you think he's going to be. You very quickly realise that he's actually probably kind of trying to steal the park. Didn't do any of the hard work, didn't clean the animals' enclosures, didn't feed the animals, didn't really do anything towards the animals, just the business and money side of it he sort of dealt with. And like, he's just a very sly person. He's quite dodgy, he's very sneaky in the things he does. I think he made it seem that he was going to help, but I think all along he saw it as a way of being able to slide his way in there, push Joe out, and have the park for himself, which he knew was, he knew it was a successful park. He knew it had, with more funding and more planning, it could have gone even better. And you could have ended up having an even better park with even more money being made. So I think he saw it as a really good business opportunity, but knew that Joe had to get out. I think he was He's up to lots of dodgy stuff. Obviously, he was sneaking animals into hotel rooms. He was also doing some other dodgy stuff as well, which he actually went into prison for. Was let out on bail. He was told that if you did any more dodgy stuff, you'd be straight back in, and for long. I think he then got caught up with more dodgy stuff and was, I think, quite close to going down, I think, again. But then obviously, you know, he managed to sort of help dob Joe into the FBI, and with that was able to sort of get away with the things he was up to. For me, he wanted Carol dead just as much as Joe did. I think he could see that if he took the park over off Joe, he would still have the problem that Joe had, which was Carol. Obviously, Carol constantly bad publicity for the park, so he knew that Carol needed to go. So in my opinion, and I think he wanted Carol dead just as much, I think, as Joe did, and I think he was dodgy, and I definitely think he had more to do with the attempted sort of paying to get Carol to, you know, be killed. I think he had more to do with that than you think he probably made out to. I never liked Jeff throughout the whole series, really. He was really dodgy. Something about him, just, I couldn't get my finger around it, but obviously then you later find out, yeah, he isn't the nicest of people, I guess. The next character we're going to discuss then is Josh Dial. Seems like a nice guy. He helped lead he helped run the political campaigns for Joe, and was offered the job in Walmart, and was told he was going to help run with Joe running that. And I think it was always going to be a harder job than he was probably told, and you know, he then very quickly realised that Joe knew nothing about politics, knew very little about what was needed to go into politics. He just, yet again, I think, wanted the fame. I think Josh had his work cut out in terms of helping him run that. You know, Joe splashed out a lot of money on needless things, which you don't really need. And Josh was sort of saying that you don't need to do these things, but wanted to do them anyway. You know, and I think he seems like a nice guy who didn't do much wrong in the series. Josh Dial seemed like a good person, a good character. You know, people weren't always the nicest to him. Certainly Joe didn't always speak to him in the nicest way or treat him in the best way, but he always stuck around, which I think you got to give a lot of respect to. As I said, he had to put up with lots of hard things, and obviously he witnessed the horrible thing that happened to Joe's partner, which no one deserves to see that, and to still go back to that office every day because he didn't want to leave Joe on his own and he wanted to help Joe. I think you've got to say, you know, that shows he's got a lot of, I think it shows he's a good person. I think he shows he's a nice person. He could have very easily just gone, do you know what, I'm not coming back here. I've just seen that, I'm not coming back. That's me done. I'm out of here. But he didn't, so fair play to him. And yeah, I think he's a nice guy. Had some horrible things happen to him, some horrible things probably said to him, but the fact he stuck around and wanted to help still, I think is great. The next character we're going to talk about then is James Garrison. Yet again, very dodgy. Yet again, in my opinion, he definitely has more going on, and he definitely knows more than is made out. I don't necessarily think he's as dodgy as Jeff Lowe, or maybe Joe, but I definitely think I think he also wanted Carol dead. He seemed. I think those three sort of had a part to play in terms of. I think they'd all planned it together. They think it went the best, and I think they just thought, we can get out of trouble here. Let's just dob Joe in nice and easily, which is a shame. I suppose that James and Jeff probably aren't in prison as well, but Joe said he's got a lot of dirt on lots of people, and those two, I think, should be quite worried that if Joe has got dirt on them, that they should be very careful and be ready for Joe to sort of really give them a run for their money. I think he's gotten away with things because he helped stop Joe and get Joe in trouble with the FBI. Otherwise, I think he'd be very much in prison too. He's got things like that stolen monkey, like a dodgy monkey, but an illegal monkey, like a lemur. I definitely think there's more going on than a dodgy monkey. I don't think it's just a dodgy monkey. I know that thing about the stolen Hummer. He pulled a gun up on someone. All these things as well. I think he's probably done more things than he's probably led on to believe as well. More to him than just that, I think. And yeah, he's a bit of a weird character. There's some weird scenes. Obviously, the one on the jet ski. There's like a slow motion scene as well, where he's like walking through a car park. And there's some weird scenes, but yeah, the jet ski one was really, really funny. And it was sort of a bit like, what the hell is going on? But yeah. The last character we're going to talk about then is Alan Glover. Alan Glover, definitely a dangerous guy. You know, he's got the teardrop under his eye, which shows that he's killed someone before. And he was then used, they were going to use him to be the person to go and kill Carol in Tampa, in Florida. So he was going to be used to go and kill. He's done it before. They were going to give him £5,000 up front, £5,000 afterwards. That's a $10,000 in total to go and kill Carol. He seemed happy with that. He was going to go and do it. I think he got as far as sort of Tampa in Florida, realised it was a bad idea, and just blew the money on like cocaine, and went to like, you know, clubs and bars and stuff, and just sort of, I think, just bottled it. But who can blame him when really, you know, he said he wanted to make himself better. He didn't want to be in trouble with the police and the feds anymore, and he wanted to become a better person. So you're not going to really want to kill someone if that's what you're trying to do. I definitely think he's like sort of Jeff's little right-hand man. I think Jeff definitely manipulates him into doing things that, you know, if there's anything Jeff wants him to do, I think he'll probably do it for Jeff. I think he was more than happy to go and kill Carol. I think he just changed his mind and realised it's just a sensible thing to do for £10,000 when it's going to probably likely get me in trouble. No, it's not a good idea. I think he changed his mind. It's a good idea for him. Yet again, I think he'd do anything for Jeff. Can't imagine if Jeff was too thrilled when he found out that Alan didn't do it. Be interesting to see what, you know, what Jeff feels on that. But I think he changed his mind slightly as well, as because, you know, he thought, why should I help Joe? And he actually says it in the series, why should I help Joe when I hate Joe? He hated Joe, so why would he want to help Joe and get himself into a lot of trouble for helping Joe, someone he doesn't like, you know? I think it'd be better for him if he just stayed out of things and sort of went his own way, certainly away from Jeff. I don't think Jeff's a very good influence for him. Stay away, do your own thing, and you know, I think he'd be okay. So overall then, what do I think? Sort of my opinions and my feelings. Overall, I think Joe did lots of bad things, but seemed to made worse, just like to look worse, when James and Jeff dobbed him into the police and sort of used them getting off with it to make Joe seem worse. As I said, I'm not trying to defend Joe in any way. He did some horrible things and said some horrible things, and it's definitely got a nasty streak, a bad streak in him. But I definitely feel like he's not one of the worst characters here. I definitely think that some of the other characters are you know, have got potential to do worse as well. Everyone involved really, for me, were dodgy or did bad in some way, and I think that if Joe's in prison, then certainly James, I think, should be in prison. I think Jeff should be in prison, and I think there's probably a couple of other characters that have probably done bad that probably could well be in prison too. I think, you know, Joe's fame, I think, got to his head massively, and I think it started his inevitable downfall. I think from that point onwards, he was always going to take a downward spiral, and I think he was in a lot of trouble. You know, he was pumping a lot of money into his political campaigns, into things that really were never going to work. He pumped a lot of money and got into a lot of trouble and wanted to do lots of things to stop Carol. It was very, very public in wanting her dead, so ultimately when things like that are going to happen, he's the first person everyone's going to go to. If anything happens to Carol, he's going to be the first person that they go to. Even if Joe's done anything or not, he'll be the first person that they go to. And if you're going to try and kill someone, I wouldn't have thought spreading it all over the internet saying you're going to kill him would be a great way to go about it. If you're going to go and kill someone and hire someone to kill someone, I assume you'd probably want to go quite quietly about it and try and do it sort of sneakily and quite quietly. I can't imagine you'd want to tell the internet that you're going to kill someone and then try and kill someone. I don't think that'd be very good. But this is where I'm going to end it then, guys. As I said, I hope you did enjoy. Sorry it's been a few days in between the last upload and this upload. I wanted to have a little break and sort of keep YouTube fresh for me. The other videos are doing really, really well. Amazing. The Normal People review, by the way, has actually gone down so well. You guys seem to have really enjoyed that. But this is where we're going to end this one. If you want me to do a part 2, I'm more than happy to do a part 2. Please like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. There's a lot of you watching these videos, but you're not subscribing. Why? Just just press the button. It's free. It's one click of a button. Why not? Really helps the channel out. Really helps me out. It's really good. But this is where I'm going to end it. I've said that a few times now. As always, I'm rambling. I'm repeating myself. See you in the next one. Goodbye.